Hello. It's me. It's Xenius. And I got myself an Audi A4 B5 right here. And I've opened up the door panel and taken it completely off right now. There was somebody who said that there's not a lot of videos on this topic out there. And I tend to agree. Mostly, because there are some videos and I obviously, or not, yeah, I watched some videos on how to take it apart. But there was some details that were omitted, like, for example, these cables here, how to remove them properly, how to remove this properly, this cable here, or this, yeah, it's a cable too, and yeah, different kind of stuff here. But I got it off, and it's sitting over here. I love this car, by the way. It's a nice car. There you can see the Audi. Here's the door panel right here. Let me change the angle. Okay, so here's the door panel that I've taken off. You can see on the underside here, here you can see the actual door panel and how it looks. But I've also removed this thing right here. So this is the thing that holds the door handle and the small speaker. Actually, it sits in a clip, or it sits in a socket here with a clip holding it in. So you have to actually remove this piece to remove that speaker that sits here. And the speaker is right here. This is the speaker, or the tweeter as it's also called. The reason I removed the door panel is because I heard some rattling noise from the door when I was listening to music, basically at louder volumes, and I felt like the sound, the rattling noise definitely was coming from the left door, and also I couldn't really say that it was the large speaker that's situated down here. I didn't feel like it was that. It's under here. You have to be a little bit careful because this door panel is sitting on top of a chair, but the large speaker is in here, under here. Now I would remove all of this to show you the inside. Problem with that is there's some kind of glue holding this in. Yeah, there's some. I just had to pause because somebody came into the garage here, but there is some adhesive holding this in, and I don't want to remove that adhesive right now. But yeah, so the rattling noise, I thought it was the speaker, but it doesn't seem to be, because it seems to be whole and it doesn't seem too bad. So that made me think that it might be the big speaker down here, but I don't think it is, because I don't know if you can see here, but there was actually a piece of tape on top of the speaker right here, and this piece of tape had dried up because this car is 20 years old or so. 22 actually, 22 years old. This piece had dried up, and this thing, I think when the base hits, this piece of tape was rattling around. So I removed the tape because it doesn't seem to have any purpose, and just get the old residue off from the tape. So now I'm not going to take this apart any further. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put this back together. I'm gonna put this back together and I'll bring you along, because there's not a lot of videos about this and it's hard to film. It's hard to film, like this piece here for example. I haven't seen anyone take this piece out, but it might be something that you want to do because these things can break, right? Fortunately mine isn't broken, but yeah, let's put it back. So let me see if this is a good angle here. Put it. You have to forgive me because it's really hard to film. I can hardly see what I'm doing myself. I mean, right here it might be good. So to start with, we need to put the speaker back in here, and we need to do it from the other side of this hole right here. So there's a hole right here that we need to get the speaker in here, but through the hole right here. So this is how it's supposed to be. And also make sure that the cables are down, pointing downwards. So now I have the speaker in. Almost. You can see that it's really annoying, this. These cables are supposed to go through the hole as well, but it's not loose, it's loose, so we can thread it through. But this one is not threaded through as of yet. Or it's not loose, I didn't take it loose. You could go down here and follow this harness here, down here, and remove it, but I stopped right here. That's why we need to thread it back through here, because I just wanted to remove this speaker, and there we go. This retainer slots into a hole right here and holds the speaker in. Now we can take this cable and put it back through. I told you guys, it's really hard to do this and film, but I'm gonna put the cables back through here. And you know what? This is actually the wrong side. Cables needs to be through the other hole that you see. It needs to be through this hole right here, like so. Now I don't know if you see this, but there's a, I don't know what to call that, but it's like a latch or something. It needs to go in through the hole here, into the hole here, and sit on top of this edge. Then we make sure that every cable comes through in one piece, and it just clicks in right there. It just clicks in right that, like that. Let me show you how it clicked in. It clicked in because there's two clips right there. There's two clips right here, and then everything just goes in. But this latch needs to be in first. Then it clicks in. So you see how that's supposed to be. Now, it's not just held in with the one screw. I mean, with the latch like that. We also need a screw that's gonna sit right there, and it's gonna be painted. It's gonna be painted red. So this screw needs to also, or doesn't need to go in, but it's gonna go in right now. So let's screw that in and not lose the screw. Oh shit, this is super hard. This is super hard. Okay, I'm gonna have to put on a headlamp. It might look very bright on the video, but it doesn't look bright to me. Okay. So let's get this screw. And it doesn't help that this screw is not magnetic, or wait, it is. It is magnetic, it's just coated with some paint. Okay, there we go. Screw goes in. Hold some resistance on the other side here when you screw that in, so you don't poke it out again. Now that's in. The next step is we're gonna have to put the cables back in order. So we have these cables right here. And they need to be in the right position. So this cable, put it right here. And there's some, it's just some kind of retainers or clips, basically plastic clips that holds that in. It's like, it's a socket, you could say. You just put that in and it's gonna sit like that. But it looks like actually the green should be on the right side like that, and the red and yellow left side like so. I believe, because it could actually also sit over here. Well, I don't think that's not it. I don't think. I think it should be here. Now this is what's hard about these things. We could put it either here or here, and there's no clear indication what's right and what's wrong. We'll find out later though, because the cables on the other side should match up here, and I have a picture of that. So that's that. Now we have to put on all of this insulation again. So for example here, just make sure that this latches goes through and around. Be careful. Be careful so that you don't rip anything. Get this foam into the side pieces here. Now these flaps here, get those flaps in under like this, and yeah, here as well, make sure that, because the door handle needs to be able to thread something right here. There's gonna be a white cable coming through right here that you saw in the door, and it's gonna latch onto this handle. So make sure that that pokes through. Make sure that these screw holes right here, that they're clear, because you're gonna have to screw through there. And now it looks good. Actually, there's one thing missing, and it's this piece right here. This piece is a piece that clips onto the cables and holds them in place. And it holds, let me pull you closer here. It holds this green cable in with into a place right here. So I know it's in the right position right now. And it's really, I don't know how to call it, but it's really sketchy, this. Be careful that you don't cut off, because it's just sharp looking, right? Careful not to cut your cables off when you put this back, or when you pull it off, because the way that you pull it off is you basically have to use a hook. I had to use this tool to get in here and pry it up like that, because there is no easy way to get this clip off, this metal clip. But now it's there. Let's get the insulation back on. Now we got the door panel all together, and we're gonna put the door panel back in. But I'm gonna have to bring around the other side. Hold tight. Okay, so now I'm gonna get the door panel from the other side. Here it is. It's a beautiful door panel, all in one piece. I actually want to get a new door panel, because this door panel is it's a bit scuffed, I would say. It's a bit scuffed actually. Let's put it in here and put you a bit closer so you can see something. Okay, so first step is we're gonna have to put the cables back in, starting with these cables. These cables will just go back in right here, and it's just a push. Then we're gonna have to put this cable back in. This cable needs to, you know, you would just push it in, of course, but the way you remove it, you have to push these out and then you drag it out. These cables right here, that's from this motor here, you just pull them out. They don't have any retaining thing, even though it's very hard. It was very hard to me because they probably haven't removed this panel in 22 years. So just pull hard on these guys from the motor, or coming from underneath the motor here. This guy's clipped in, these guys also clipped in, these guys are also clipped in. So that's what we're gonna do now. It's very hard to film this. I'm gonna try my best. I want to have the HD camera here, but maybe let me get the other side view actually. Get the front camera on here because I can't see if you can see, if you know what I mean. Okay, here we go. Now I have the front camera on, and yeah, basically there's no easy way to do this. You just have to. I'm sitting here on the side of the door, like I'm sitting on the door frame. And we start by getting the brown cable in. Brown cable needs to go. Is it hard? Just here. Like so. And like so. Now that's in. I really need a cameraman here. I'm sorry guys, but it's just gonna have to do. Now we need to get this cable in. Let's see if it's maybe you'll get a better view from the other side of the door. Like here. Yeah, now you can see a bit better. So I got the brown cables in. Now I need to get this cable in. Yeah, you can't really see it as really well. But to get this cable, it should be going right here. Yeah, it's super hard to do this, guys. I don't know how to do this in a good way for you. But let me just do it and I'll get back to you. Okay, so now I got the cables in. You really had to kind of get everything really close and yeah, just get everything in place. Now we have one last thing, and it's the white wire that goes to the door handle. And I think it's better from the other side again. This time actually. So yeah, you can see right here that this is the place where I told you earlier for the door handle. So there's going to be a little loop here, right here. When we open and close the door, the loop's gonna go like that, and this side is gonna have a hook, and this hook needs to go in this loop and it's gonna have to be kind of close. Just wait a minute. Okay, there the hook went in the loop. Now we're gonna have to put this white part here into this retain socket right here. Then we're gonna have this piece right here. This piece is a metal clip that goes on top of here. Maybe it's not gonna be there in your car if they lost it sometime, but it should be on top of here, in front of the middle round part, between these two round parts. Clip it in. Oh my god, that was so close to getting bad. Okay, so it should be behind, actually, like that, behind the big one, behind the big round part. Okay, that's how it should be. Now everything is hooked up, door handle and all. You can try it. Yeah, it's pulling. Good, good, good. Now we're gonna have to put the whole door back on. And the way we do that is we have to lift the door up. Make sure that this thing here, that's the lock, right? This thing right here, that's the lock. Not the lock, but the indicator for the lock. It has to go on top of the hole, and we're gonna have to lift the door up as good as we can, because we got cables and everything, right? It's really hard to show this. There's a lot of different pieces everywhere. And you have to fit it in. It's going to be lifted up, right? It's going to be lifted up. It's still lifted up here. It's going to be lifted up for the time being. Make sure that everything is going into its correct hole. There's some plastic pieces here that holds. It's very hard for me to show you guys. I'm sorry. Let me take you over here. Here, I don't know if you can see that, but there's some plastic here. Christ almighty. Right here, there's some plastic here. I hope you can see that. Yeah, there's some plastic here, and you're gonna have to get that hatch latch on this plastic without it falling hither or thither. Oh god damn. Let me pull you in the car. I made this so much harder for myself. Trust me guys, I might look incompetent here. But it's way harder doing this and trying to make you see everything as well. Okay, so you're just gonna have to sit right there. So I'm checking that goes in where it's supposed to. I'm checking that the lock thing also goes where it's supposed to. I'm checking the plastics on this side, or rubber actually, it's rubber. You have to kind of take this, you know, the lock part over here, kind of get your fingers under, make sure it goes through the hole. Now it needs to come down. Okay, so it came down. You have to trust me. What I did was I just made sure that everything around the perimeters here was lining up. Everything was lining up. You can see the lamp to the door started glowing. That's a good sign. Good sign. And yeah, I made sure that even here, I was looking around the perimeter here, checking that everything was, like when it was a little bit open, making sure that everything was in place. Rubber and everything. And yeah, I pushed it down, making sure that this is poking through, and you can see it's still up because you can't really lock this door while the door is open. So now the door panel is back on and it should be working. So if I put the power, get the ignition going here. So the window should work. It does. And yeah. Let's see if the music works. We'll have to see if there is a rattling sound. Bad news. There's still a rattling sound, and it's coming from the loudspeaker, the big speaker. It's totally confirmed now. That's a bummer. That's a huge bummer. That's a huge bummer. Yeah, but to finish off that, what you need to do is you have to put these two screws back in. Then you have to put this cup or this thing back in, and it goes in from the other side. And when you're done that, you take one screw in there and one screw in the other side right here. But yeah, that was a bummer. This speaker is broken. Yeah, we'll see what we can do about that. Thank you for hanging with me in this video. That's how you do this stuff. Okay guys, so I took the door panel out again, and I removed the speaker. I got into the speaker here, so you can see the adhesive they have on here. So I broke the adhesive, and here is the speaker. It's a genuine speaker, but you can see here that it is in fact broken all around here, and here you can see where it's been broken off right there. So yeah, we're gonna have to get some new speakers for this car. That's just a little update for you guys so you know what happened. Yeah, somebody's been having too loud music in this car. Broke this guy. You can actually see some residue here and there too. A residue, you could say, some debris from the speaker. Yeah, so fortunately it looks like it's gonna be easy to remove the speaker. You're just gonna have to pull that thing off and pull that thing off. Let's see if we can do it while holding the camera, because the speaker's broken anyways. Just pull that there. Pull that there. And get this speaker out of here.